Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today we are going to have some fun with one of the Maya's mocap files. As you know, Maya has some mocap file built into it. Well, for this part of lesson, you need to have no knowledge of Maya. We just want to export the one of the mocaps from Maya and import it into Houdini, and then we're going to continue our tutorial in Houdini. Okay, so for now I assume that you have no knowledge of Maya, so just go to the Windows, and in general editors you can see the visor. Okay, here is the Maya's visor. I installed Maya 2017 in my system also, but I don't know why I can't really find the visor in Maya 2017. So I'm just now in Maya 2015 and everything is great. As you can see here in the tabs up here, we have a mocap examples tab, and you can see lots of mocap files in it. Well, to use them, just grab each of them like this one and import it to the scene like this. Okay, let's see what we have. Well, as you can see, it's some kind of, well, I think it's not a good mocap for this tutorial. The thing that I just want to do is that I kind of want a mocap, an animation that just runs, and when it just runs, I want when it just hit his foot to the ground, just fire comes out of the ground. Okay, so it's not a good example for that. Maybe we can just import another one. Well, let's see what we have here. Well, I think I don't want these dances, fights, no. Well, we have a run here. Okay, so let's see what we have. Well, I think this is a great example for what I just want to do. Okay, let me go to the outliner and just get rid of the first one. This one. Okay, I just want to import it again. Maybe it has some bad effects if we have two kind of mocaps in one scene. Okay, so now import it again, and now we have our mocap file. Okay, just grab one of the bones to see where is the last frame. Well, as you can see, it's 66.40, so it means that now we are in 24 frames per second. I think it should be higher than that. Well, let me go for 25. Nope, it's not. Let me see. No, it's not working. Well, 30. Yes, now we have an exact number here. And I think these mocap files just started from the 0. Yes, I'm right. Okay, now I just want to export this mesh as an alembic and then import it to Houdini. So to do that, well, as we know, it's 83 frames, and well, I think you can see that in some frames we don't have, well, can you see this part here? If we just want to don't have these kind of things here, these two keyframes are even less than a frame to each other, so we should just even out all the keyframes. So just grab the highest bone in hierarchy, then right click and go to the select hierarchy. Now we just select all the bones. Okay, just go to the edit keys and bake the simulation. Now you can see it just even out all the keyframes and we have a clean animation here. Okay, well, we just finished here. Just click on your mesh. Then in most cases, when I just want to export Alembic, I just unlock everything, okay, to have no problem. So now go to the pipeline cache with your mesh selected and export selection to Alembic. Go to the option. The most important thing, first of all, you just set it to time slider, and the most important setups is this setup. Now I just, well, let me just reset it, and we're going for the time slider. And here, as you can see, none of these boxes are checked, and here we have Ogawa, I think, not HTF5. So the best result and the most accurate Alembic with no bugs will be with all of these boxes checked on. Okay, so never forget that, because in lots of cases, if you don't check these guys, well, your Alembic will be ruined. And the file format should be HTF5. Okay, now everything is ready for us to just export our mesh. But as you just know, I always do my tutorials from scratch. So let's go and create a project. So we can just name it, well, what should I name it? Runner Fire Houdini. Okay, now we can go and create some presets for ourselves. Object, for any object that we just create, and we need a cache, also a render, and a flipbook. The flipbook in Houdini is like Maya playlist. Okay, now we can just export our Alembic. Well, I just created everything here. Sorry guys that you didn't see it. Well, I just create the runner fire Houdini folder, then I create these 5 files in it. As you can see, they are empty because I just created them now. Now we can just export our Alembic in the object folder, obj folder. Okay, just export selection. We can just copy this path in here, and everything is great. Runner motion, and just export. Okay, now we have our runner mesh animation, and we can go to Houdini. We have nothing to do with Maya anymore. Okay, let's just go to Houdini. Okay, so now we can import the Alembic file, but first of all, when you just in Houdini, the first thing that you should do is to just set project, and our project is here. Control C, then Control V. Here's our runner fire Houdini. Just as accepted. Now create a geometry. and I just call it setup. Well, what happened? Okay, double click on it, delete the default file. Sorry. Now we'll create a Alembic node, and here, because we are now just did a set project, here we have a $job. Just click on it and it goes straight to your project folder. Now we can just go to object and choose runner motion. Now we should have our animation here. Yes, as you can see. And we should also go to the global animation options, and as we saw in Maya, we are in 30 frames per second and we have 83 of frames, and we start from 0. Now we can apply. Okay, now everything is okay. So we can also create ground in Maya. Yes, let's do it, because I just want to show that when every of our object, anything, is in Maya, how can we just export them and import all of them in Houdini? So we can just go to Maya here, just create a plane, scale it. Okay, our first frame is here, so we should just go like this, and maybe we can just scale it a little bit more, and here, and that's great. So I think now everything is great. Let me just shrink it down. And a little bit in X. Now everything is great. Okay, let me just even out the number of these subdivisions. I don't like it to be a rectangle, I want it to be a square. So let me go to the polyplane. Well, for the height we can go for 5. I think is good. Maybe 515 should be better, or 20. Yes, that's it. That's what I want. So let me see from this side that is everything okay or not. Well, I should go to the front view. Well, as you can see, well, our character is a little bit higher than our grid, so we should just go upward a little bit, like this, I think. Well, because this is a mocap file, this isn't really accurate. So as you can see, now we have this much under the ground, but here, as you can see here, it's not really accurate. So we just do something a little bit, something that fits our needs. Well, can you see this? Its right foot is much more under the ground than the left foot. Well, that's not really important, okay? So just stick to it for now. Maybe we can just change it in the future. Okay, so just grab it, and in most cases, because it's a static object and we have no movement, so we can just freeze transformation, center pivot, and delete history. Now we have a clean mesh that we can just export. we can export, because it's an static object, we can export even object obj file, or we can export alembic. Well, we can just go for alembic again. Here we just call it ground. Everything is great. Okay, now we can again go to Houdini and just import our ground. We need another alembic file, $job. As you can see here, now we have $HH. Always be aware of these things. The best thing that you can have is the $job, because after that, if you just copy your project and paste it in another system, another PC, maybe in your home, at your work, anywhere, you just can set project and everything will be work fine. So go to $job again, so that we have $job here. Then go to object and we have our ground. Okay, here we have ground, and here we have our runner. Okay, well, as you can see here in our spreadsheet, we don't have much points. As you can see, we just have 1 point, and that's the point 0. Well, in all the cases with alembic, you just face these, so to just extract all the points from your alembic file, just convert it to polygon meshes. Okay, now you can see that you have all the points here, and you can also do this with your ground. Okay, so what we want to do, the first thing that we just want to do is that how we can just grab the details and the properties of our food, and then extract it, then transfer it to the ground. We want, whenever this runner just put its feet on the ground, we just want to create fire in that area. So we need to transfer the position of the foot to this plane, this ground. So how can we achieve that? Well, in Houdini, that's really easy. We can just do it by 2 or 3 nodes. Okay, let's just do it and we can see it. Well, let me put this here. Now just hit D in keyboard. You can see the network editor options, and I love to go for the rounded shape of these links. Now it's busier. Just hit on rounded. Okay, that's much better for me, of course. Okay, so I just want to transfer. I just want to make the runner red, or every color. That's not really important. Maybe this white is great, and our ground black. Okay, then after that, I just want to transfer the color from our runner to our ground. But when you just transfer color, the most important thing that is a key for you to get the best result is the division of your polygons. Okay, if now I just transfer attributes, well, we want to transfer from this guy, the runner, to our ground. So as you can see, now we have this. Okay, well guys, I just forgot something really important to tell you, and well, I really don't know how I just forgot it. You know, the most important thing in creating effects is the scale of your scene. As you can see here, we have this mesh, this runner mesh, and as you know, if we just create a box in Houdini, well, this box is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. So now I just want to see that how much meter is our guy. Okay, so let's see if I just merge these two together. Well, as you can see, you can't even see the box, so I just will go and scale it up. Okay, even higher. Okay, as you can see here, now here we have 153, and this is the size of the box, and as I said, these numbers are in meters. So now our guy is about 150 meter or even higher than that. So we're not in the right scale. Well, let me just make this 1. So the difference between the Maya scale and the Houdini scale is 100 unit. So we just, after the convert that we've just done, we want to transfer our meshes by, just scale it by 0.01. And now if I just zoom on it with space G, now as you can see, our scale of box is just 1, and this is 1 meter, so our guy should be about 1.8 meter, and that's the right scale. Well, sorry to mention it now, but now we are just working in the right scale. So we should just do this with also the ground. Okay, now, yes, now we are in the right scale. Now we can just continue. Okay, I can just delete them now, we don't need them anymore. So, well, what we were doing, we just wanted to transfer the color of our runner to the ground. As you can see here, before the attribute transfer, our ground was black, but after that we have a white ground. And here, well, as you know, the color in Houdini is CD. Just select it and go to the condition. Well, our distance now is really high, just make it smaller and smaller, and as you can see, it's so blocky, and that's what I just told you about the subdivision. So to prevent these kind of effects, our ground now is really low res. So just create a subdivide node here and override crease weight attribute, just change it to 10 because we need no round shapes, we just want to add more divisions. Let me go for 5. Let's see what happened. Yes, and now we have much better resolution. Now we can go down again. Let me just see our runner. Okay, we can go even further with that. This should be cool. And now if we just scrub in your timeline, you can see that when wherever that your runner just hit the ground, it has a white color. Okay, but the problem is that we want to emit fire from them, but they just appear and then disappear. We want everywhere that just has the color of white just remain white, not just disappearing. Okay, and that's also really easy in Houdini. We can just create a solver node. Well, solver. Okay, and then copy this transfer attribute, and we're going to do exactly this in our solver. Just copy your attribute transfer here and the previous frame to this, and here we're going for the second input. Now, as you can see, if I just hit play, well, I should just make it visible like this. Now, well, let me just refresh it by control click on this brain icon. Well, as you can see now, the white areas just added to the other areas. They're not just disappearing. Now we have what we need to emit fire from it. Well, these white areas are our emitters. Well, so we just need these areas. So let's delete the black parts. So here we're going for points and expression. We need to say $CR if $CR is less than like 0.2. Well, delete it, and less than 0.2 means nearly black. Now we have just the white parts, and this is our emitter, and that's great. Sorry. Okay, well, I think now we can just export these, because every time that we have some changes here, it just should calculate the solver again, because it should be calculated. It's a dynamic process. So I just create a ROP output driver, and we'll export it and then import it back. Well, let me see what we have here. Now we have CD, color, position, UV, and pass. We don't need any of the CD, UV, and pass. So let me delete those. Attribute delete. Okay. Now we can delete the color, texture, and the pass. But this is our emitter, and in most cases, because especially this one, our runner just run, and its running should have some effects on the fire. So we need the velocity of our runner and transfer it to the emitter. So we should transfer the runner's velocity. Here is our runner. So if we just create a trail out of it to calculate the velocity, now you can see that here is our runner velocity. Yes, everything is working great. Now we can just transfer, attribute transfer, the velocity to our meter. Okay, but as I see now, the threshold, the distance threshold is really high, and maybe 0.3 is good. Let me just see what we have here. Well, here, yes, we have the velocity, and then it backs to 0. Yes, that's great. That's what we really want. Okay, so let me pipe this into our attribute transfer. Now we have position, velocity, and let me just put this attribute delete here. Now we have just position and velocity, and everything looks great. Okay, so let's just export our emitter so that we can use it without any calculation of this solver. Okay, so we need 0 to 83. Now here just hit on the $job, go to your cache, create a new folder, emitter mesh. Okay, $f4.bgo, accept, and well, oh my god, guys, we've just been this so far and we didn't just save our scene. So let me save it. We're going to $job scene, and I just will make a v01, the version 1, accept. Now I can just go for the save to disk in background. Okay, well, it's just doing its stuff. Now we can just create a file and right click, copy this parameter, and just right click here and paste, copy the relative references. Now we have everything ready for our simulation. Okay, well, now that everything is great, now we can just go and create our DOP network. Let me see, we have everything, position and velocity, yes. Okay, the first thing that I do whenever I just want to do these kind of effects, I always create my DOP network in my setups and not out of it, because I should just say go back and just back in, back out. Okay, so I just love to see everything in one place. Let me rename it .NET runner fire. Okay, and before just going to the shelf and create on any of these, you should just activate it in here. We have the .NET runner file, so everything just works fine. Okay, now just grab the file 1, go back, grab your setup, and we just want a fire with flames. So here we have the preset and everything is ready for us. Let me just save it another time. Okay, and just hit the flame and everything should be okay. Great. Now as you can see, here is our container and we have here our fire. Let me just play and see what we get. Well, that's so nice. Okay, can you see these effects? I'm sure that here now our character, our runner, just make his foot in the backward, and this shooting here in this part, in this back part, is because of the runner foot velocity, and that's great, and that's what we want. Okay, so our first problem is our container, and as you can see, our container here, it just eats our fire, it just cut it out. So, and as you can see, it can't follow our fire and even our runner steps properly. So, and that's obviously because of the resized container. So most of the time this field cutoff is for the density. If our density just gets lower than this number, it will just cut it out. in most cases I just go really low because I don't want any density to just be cut out. Then we can go for the max bound. Just turn this off, this clamp, to maximize. Okay, and we of course need more padding. Let me see what we achieve now. Well, can you see this below part? We seriously don't need this. So to get rid of that, just go to your size, right click, copy, and right click in the center and paste it, and then divide it by 2, so it will start it from the 0 in Y. Okay, and then in your resize container, just delete the make the lower padding scale 0. As you can see now, our container never goes below the 0, and that would be great. So let's just play and see what we have now. Well, the padding of 1 is great because it can just catch all the fires. Yes, even these footsteps, and I believe it was the last one. Okay, so we have everything. Now as you can see, it just our character just runs, and in every footstep it just makes fire on the ground. Okay, so well, to have a faster simulation, we should just be careful with these paddings. We needed no padding in Y, so we makes it 0, but we need padding in the front of our X, but not much in the back, so we can just put it on 0.2. And even we don't want much padding in Z, we can maybe go 0.2 for both Z sides. Well, even in upper, maybe 0.6 is good. So let me see. Yes, we have much smaller container now. Okay, that would be great. Okay, well, let me just create a flip book out of this simulation, because the motion of the fire is really important, because that's what shows the scale of your simulation. So first, let's just create a camera. Okay, let's go here. Okay, and as you can see, when we just clicked on the flames here and in the shelf, it just created for us a volume, a fluid source, and all of these parameters are related to the emitter. Okay, we'll just get into it. So let me just merge this with our runner so that I can see where are all of them together. Okay, here, so we should go back a little bit more. Well, I think this should be okay for us. Okay. So let's just create a flip book out of this. Accept. It should be fast. Let's play. Well, as I can see, our motion is not really fast, because you know, is the scale of our, you know, the scale here is just about 1 meter. So the fire in 1 meter scale should just have faster movement. So, well, let me go and see what we can do with it. Okay, so the first thing that we should do, as we saw, well, we need more buoyancy. The buoyancy, it just says how faster it goes upward. Well, maybe we can go for not point 1.2, 1.5, and we need less cooling rate. You know, the cooling rate just cool off the temperature, and we don't want it. The fire doesn't just cool off really fast. Well, maybe 0.5, and we need lesser diffusion. You know, when you just have diffusion in your temperature, you just don't have that nice crispy and detailed flames. It just diffuse it. Maybe we can go for 0.15. Okay, and in our shapes, you know, as we just saw in Flipbook, in our play blast, we didn't have much turbulence. You know, fire has lots of turbulence in it, so maybe we can go for 0.5 of turbulence. And in turbulence, the swirl size is really important. We don't want much swirl size, so we can just go for little ones. Maybe 0.2. We should see what we get from it. Okay, of course we need more disturbance to just break the overall shape of our fire. Maybe 0.4 is great, and we need, of course, more shredding, like 0.1. Well, you know, if you just go to the advanced tab in advection, well, we have advection type and will advection type. I just had lots of tests on this, and I just understand that I really love this type BFECC much higher than the modified, because I don't know, just the shapes will be much better in this type. Okay, so I just for every pyrotechnics and every pyro and smoke and anything that related to fluid, I just go for this type. Okay, well, let me see the results now. Just hit play. Well, as you can see here, now we have much more turbulent fire. Well, I think we should just get another flipbook. Let it just finish. And as you can see, it's so fast because we are in low res mode. Well, just hit the flipbook to see what we get. Okay, let me play. Well, it's somehow nice, you know, but I think it's really turbulent now. Well, it's not that much bad. I think it's good. Well, yes, I think it's great. So let's just save our file and go for rendering. Well, yes, I think that's it. But before that, you know, as I said, now we are just in low res mode. You know, it's about 0.5. Okay, but for the final we should just go for 0.01, and well, and that took higher than this, so maybe it took about 15 minutes. I don't know. Let's just see what we get. And of course, I forgot something. You know, we really don't want our character to start fire the ground from the first frame, you know. Here, let me just create, well, we don't want that. If here we go to the merge, and of course here, you know, as I said, I like to have everything in one place, so I just copy this here and turn this off, and I will have it here and no need of this render. Okay, now if we just go to this merge and we have no simulation, you can see that I just want our runner to start whenever it just start running, like these frames, as you can see, because he has lots of strengths in his foot, and after you just try to run, you know, it just burn everything. Well, I think 24 should be great. Yes, 24 is a great number. So I just go to the .NET. Oops, escape. I don't want to just calculate anything. Go to the .NET in simulation tab and change the start frame to 24. Well, now we will start the simulation from this frame. Let me just escape it because I don't want you to just watch the whole process of this simulation. Okay, but before I just export the simulation, first I just want to uncheck the rest fields, rest and rest 2. I don't want those fields. Then I will create a RAW attribute driver. I can also export it from here or here, but you know, we have lots of unwanted attributes like these, so I just want to delete them. They just makes our file heavy. Okay, now we need the position. Well, we don't need any of, well, let me just go one frame. Okay, now we can just decide better because it just created some parameters, some attributes. So we don't need the object, but we need the name, and we need none of these, so just type a star here. Now, as you can see, we just have the position and the name. Okay, and that would be much easier to simulate. Okay, let me just save the file. Here 0 to 83, that would be great. You can go to $job, cache, fire, C. Then we have $f4.bgo. Okay, just accept it. Now I just save again and then save to disk in background. Okay, and here it just starts simulating, and I just will pause the video, and after that it finished, we'll come back to you. Okay, it's about 18 minutes and it's also need more time, and it just have done 92% of it, but now we can just see that we are okay with it or not. So let's just create a file. Okay, then copy parameter and paste it in here. Okay, now we should see what we have, and of course we can see that, well, we've just done 76 frames, and it needs more 6 more. Okay, so to visualize it in the viewport, we can just create a visualize volume visualization. Okay, now here in density field we're going for density, and of course in diffusion we can go for density again, and in emission field we're going for heat. So change it to 1. As you can see now we have something. And of course in the emission color we're going for temperature, and we need just to remap it. Okay, so let's just create a light. Well, we have no light here. Here is our camera, so I think this angle would be great for our light. Just go to the light tab and control click on distance light. Okay, and of course to lighten up the overall look of our scene, we can go for a skylight also. Just click on skylight here, and the intensity of the skylight is, I think, too much. The one is really high. We can just go for 1.15, and also for the sunlight we just wanted to lighten up all of our fire just a little bit. Okay, now, well, to render the fire we need to create a mantra node. So just go to out and we can create a mantra node. Okay, so in most cases for the rendering engine of the fluids that you have, you can go for the physical based rendering, and we can just have the EXR for the formats. And of course we just have one camera in the scene, and that's the cam 1. Okay, and we need another step. As you can see, we need to have a shader for our flames, our fire. So when you just click on the flames here, we just did it at the beginning of the tutorial, it just created by default a shader for you, so we can just use it. But the best way to render is that you just separated your render files. So we have a fire and we have our runner, so we can just create a geo for our flames, for our fire. Just go to its file. Here we have a full pass, but as I just said, the best way is to just click on the $job, then go to the cache fire, and then just hit it. Okay, now here we have our fire. We can just rename it to render fire, and we also have our runner. So let's just go to the setup, and this is our runner. So we can just create an object merge. Okay, just grab it here in object 1 and change the transform to into this object. Then Control X this one, and we can create another geometry for the runner. Okay, just paste it here. Now we have these two files, and we can just render these two. Go to the out, and in mantra, in the object tab, you can see that it just have a star here in candidate object, so it just will render anything. But we just want to say to it that force these two, runner and fire, just render these two guys. Okay, so now we can go to render fire in material, then grab the flame material and use it here. And for the runner, we can just go to the shop and create a mantra surface. Okay, we can just rename it to runner. Okay, now we can just select it in here. Now we have these two, and I think we can go for rendering and shading process. And of course, as you can see here, the simulation just passed 96%, and it took till now about 2 and 26 minutes. Okay, so let's go for shading and rendering process. Just go to the render view, and here we have mantra 1 and the cam 1 selected. Just hit render and to see what we get, what we have now. Okay, we are in the first frame. Well, maybe we can go to the frame 76 and hit render again. Okay, well, that's not bad, but we should work on the shader. Well, just control click on this icon and it will just bring up the properties of the shader. Okay, well, first of all, I have some problem with the color with the ramp. Here we have a physical black body, and in most cases it's work great, and as you can see here, it's not really bad. We should just have some more work on these attributes. Okay, here I think we need more temperature, as you can see now, because the fire is somehow is a lot hotter than the actual fire, because this is a runner that just explode the ground somehow, so we need to scale up the intensity. Well, I think we have great details here, and I'm somehow satisfied with this result, and that's not too bad. Well, maybe we need more smoke here, and our density scale for the smoke is 0.4. Well, I think we can go for more than that, maybe 2. Let's see what we get. Okay, I think that's much better, but we have some problem with the color. We need more dark, the darker. Okay, yes, that's what I really want. Okay, well, I think we've done with this tutorial, but let me just render all of these, render this sequence, these 83 frames, and then I will come back to you. And of course, well, we should go for more samples in our render. We have some problem in sampling, but for this tutorial I think that would be enough, because I don't want to spend more time for it. The techniques and the process of creating this effect, you just learned it, and that's what's the most important thing for you guys. Okay, let me see what we will get out of this simulation. I will back. Well, before I just pause the video, well, I think we should just do some work with that. Here we should just prepare the render frame range. Here 0 to 83. Let me just pause it, and let me see if anything is okay. We should just Here frame our output file, go to $job. In your render, just I will create a 01 because maybe we should just want to do the render again. Render 01 $f4.exr. I think everything now it should be okay. 3 would be good. We need no motion blur for now. It just takes more time to render. Okay guys, let's just save our scene and render to disk in background. Well, okay, and now it's working. Well, I'll just pause the video and we'll come back. Okay, here is our final result. I think we just got a great result out of this 1-hour tutorial. Well, I think we have nothing to do with our simulation. Of course, you can do more, you know, we just spend 1 hour for this tutorial and you can just tweak more parameters, more attributes to get it and make it better. Thanks for watching guys, and if you just enjoy this tutorial, please like and subscribe. Thank you.